You know what? XLOOKUP is an amazing function, but the problem is this one big limitation it has. When you want to have all the matches for a lookup value from a table, XLOOKUP cannot do that. But in this video, I'm going to show you two different methods, two amazing methods to get all the matches from a table for a lookup value. So make sure to watch this video till the end and do not forget to download a free ebook at the end of this video. So have a look. Now, in the first method, we're going to use filter function that is one of the most amazing functions that we have right now in Excel. So have a look. All right, so here I have this table with salesperson, product name, and amount. I want to look up for all the entries where the salesperson is David Lee. So instead of using any lookup function, as I said, I'm going to use the filter function. I'll enter the filter function, and in the first argument, I'm going to select the entire table, and then for include, I'm going to select the salesperson column. And here, along with that, I'm going to write a condition. The condition is to test the name from the cell F1. And in if empty argument, which is an optional argument, you can skip it, but I'll use a blank value. Now, the moment I hit enter, you can see I get all the entries for David Lee. Let me just copy headings from here to paste it. And I get all the entries, literally all the entries for David Lee from this table. Now, to make this lookup dynamic, I'm going to create a drop-down list, and you can use this keyword shortcut Alt-A-V-V to open the dialog box and then go to list from the allow, and from the source, I'm going to select the salesperson column. Click OK, and here I have my drop-down, and you can see when I change the drop-down, let me just move this cell here. And when I change the value from this drop down, I get all the matches for that particular salesperson from this table to this new table. In the second method, we're going to use Power Query, and we're going to set up a few things, and then you are good to go. All right, so in the first step, I need to load the single value from the cell G1 into the Power Query editor. So what I'll do, I'll select this cell, right click, and then go to get data from table or range. And as I don't have any header, so I will not check mark it, click OK, and it will load my data into the Power Query editor. Just one single value from the cell G1. Now I'm going to right click and click on drill down. And now in the next step, I need to right click and rename this query. So this is the value from the cell from the worksheet. So I will name it filter value. And now go to home, close and load, and then close and load to. And instead of loading it as a table, I'll just create a connection. So I'll click on only create connection and then click OK. And now as I don't need the header, I'll go to table design and remove the header row and move this single cell to the cell G1, back to the cell G1. Now the one thing is done. Now I'll go to my main table, right click, and then get data from table or range. Now, the next thing is to create a simple filter on the salesperson column. Let's say if I filter only David Lee and click OK. So I have data only for the David Lee. Now, if I go to filter value, you can see I have this name James Carter, and in this table, I have David Lee after filter. So what I'll do, I'll remove this hard value, the hard name, and I will enter this query where I have value from the worksheet. And now the moment I click anywhere on the table, you can see the values have changed. Now I'll again rename this table. Now the last thing is to load this data back to the worksheet. So what I'll do, I'll go to close and load and then close and load to. And from here, I'm going to click on table, but I will add it in the existing worksheet and click OK. Now I have data for the James Carter because I have this name here. To select a name easily, I'm going to create a drop-down list. So I'll use the keyword shortcut Alt-A-V-V, and from here, select the list for source, the salesperson column, and click OK. And now I have all the names in the drop down list. So if I go with, let's say, Oliver Green and then refresh my table, I get data for Oliver Green. That means I'm getting all the values for this particular salesperson. And this is something you cannot do with any lookup function. And this is one of the best way to get all the matches for a particular value. Not just that, I'm going to make it more dynamic. We'll make adjustment to refresh this table whenever you change the value in this drop downs. So I have one simple VBA code that I'm going to use to make this table more dynamic. So what I'll do, I'll just right click on my worksheet tab and then go to view code, and here I'm going to paste this code. And in this VBA code, I just need to make a few changes. The first is to change the cell address, and instead of H1 I have G1. And now I'm going to change the name of the table as well. So name of the table is filtered table, and I'm going to change the name here. Yes, that's it. And now when I change the value, you can see the data in this particular table is also changing, because the moment I change the drop down, the table get refreshed and Power Query extract the data using the value as a filter. So this is one of the best ways to get all the matches in return for a particular value.